Hi everyone, this is Cindy Crane with the Heart, and I'm back with a card making video. So we're going to make a Joyfold card. It's part of the June Sheetload of cards for 2022. And so I didn't follow exactly the directions. It's more like an inspiration. The directions that are given by Crafty Owl are wonderful. She's using 12 by 12 paper, and I of course want to use my 6 by 6, and I don't want to make 6 cards, I only want to make 4, so I just kind of adapted it to suit my purposes. I'm going to be using the Sunshine and Bees paper pad as well as the ephemera, and I think the cards came out really cute. So we're going to make one card together, and then I will show you the other cards that I made. And I have a hashtag in the description box. So I believe if you click on that hashtag, you should be able to then get all of the other cards that were made for the month, and not just cards that were made using Not Too Shabby, but cards that are made all over. I made cards that were not too shabby using this this layout. So I really love how they came out too, so I hope you do too. So I'm going to go over the measurements. So you need a piece of cardstock that measures 9 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then you're going to score at 4 1/4, and that will give you your card base. Okay, so then you'll need a second piece of cardstock. I guess I'm going over the measurements again. So 9 3/4 by 4 1/4, score at 4 1/4. All right, and then you just burnish that. And then you need a second piece of cardstock to do the Joyfold part, and that measures 8 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then you're going to score in half at 4 1/4. So again, that's 8 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then you score at 4 1/4, and then you fold it over, and you're then ready to go. So then you have your mats. This mat measures 5 1/4 by 4, and that is going to go down as your sort of main, not really that main piece, but it's definitely a show piece. It's really a good way of showing really pretty paper. So if you have paper that you are, you just don't want to cut into it, this is a good project for that because it really kind of showcases it. So it's going to go right down in there as shown in the video. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down. I'm going to use some tape runner. I don't usually use tape runner. I just kind of use it if I'm doing videos. And I do have quite a bit of it right now, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. I've given myself a little bit, has a little bit of a border around it. And then the Joyfold piece, you're just going to go ahead and put adhesive on it, and you're going to center it on that mat that you just put down. So centering it will be fine. You don't have to worry about it working or not working. It's going to work. So if you center it, you'll be fine. It doesn't have to be exact either, so because there's plenty of give and directions. Okay, so that is the piece that's going to give you that Joyfold. And then I am just using a piece of scrap paper here instead of the actual amount, but if you wanted to cover that whole piece, that measures 4 by 3. 4 by 3. But instead, I actually am using some scrap, and it kind of really works for the ephemera I'm using because the paper and everything is so sort of busy. It's a good way of kind of breaking up that busyness by giving yourself a little bit of some solid, other place for your eye to go. So, because all the patterns are super busy. And so it just helps kind of break up that busy bee kind of paper. Okay, so that's down. And then that piece right there, that measures 4 by 4. That mat is 4 by 4. And somehow it's all gonna look great, even though these are some darn busy patterns together. There's enough kind of white space there too to kind of break it up, and it's gonna it looks good. So I put that down, and now it's time to decorate my panel. And so I'm using, like I said, ephemera. And what I did with the ephemera is I went ahead and put it on black cardstock and then cut around that. And so that's just another way of kind of grounding your image so that it doesn't look like it's just floating on the paper and kind of melting into the background. And then using that white space so that it kind of breaks up everything a little bit for you. I've got my little bee, and then everything is on some foam tape. And go ahead and put that down. And that card is done, and I just think it looks so cute. And then it does a little Joyfold, and then there's a space right in there for you to put in a message. I'm going to go ahead and do some light decorating, couple of sequins. I have the sequin mix that came in the Not Too Shabby subscription box. And so I'm going to go ahead and just glue down a couple of sequins just for a little bit of bling. And I'm just using my art glitter glue, and I'm just gonna dot maybe 3 dots of glue. I usually use my little pickup tool, but I always forget to bring it with me to this desk over here, and so I'm going to be using my fat little fingers to go ahead and put that on there. And I'm just going to lay down some random sequins to that match, because this is a super simple card. It's just, I'm putting a little bit of sequins in there just for some fun. And that card is done. It's totally done. So I think it looks really, really cute. And now I'm going to show you the other cards that I made for these Joyfold. And so here's this one right here, and I use that little beehive, and I used a piece of scrap to decorate that that piece right there. And it's just a good way of using up some scrap too. And you can be creative. I'm going to be working on some cards using the Sheetload of cards, Joyfold. Again, it might not show up until maybe next month because I got so much projects going on. But I'm going to be using up scrap with it, which means that I'm going to be like paper piecing stuff together and using funky colors, and we'll see how it goes. But here is the last card, and I had this white circle from another project just sitting on my desk, and so I just went ahead and used that. I put that down as a mat, and then I did, you know, my little ephemera pieces, and I think the cards came out really, really cute. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is Cindy with Craying with the Heart.